Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alpha here, and today I'm going to be running through the Challenge 6 dungeon. As of the time of making this video, this is Challenge Dungeon maybe 14. It's Challenge 6 is always the no recovery. So one of the easiest ways to get through is to use a color match team since uh, without hearts on, it's just much easier to get all those combos. So you can see the team I'm rolling with here. I've got my light Kali team. I've got to put together with an Indra on there for some defense, Dark Izanami for some defense, and light Metatron for bind clear. So I was able to get a good peek at the board before it got darkened on me, and honestly, I got a little lucky with some Skyfalls there. I made some of the matches, but got a Skyfall to get in the last one, which is part of the benefit of running the no recovery. You're going to get a lot more Skyfalls. So these guys, they do the same stuff every time, where they're going to hit you with a preemptive and then blind the board. So it's nice if you could bring something that gets rid of that blind. But you can see I was kind of peeking at some of the colors there and was able to make my 4 matches I needed. And again, kind of got lucky on the Skyfalls there, but that's okay. Sometimes being lucky is good. Um, okay, Genbu. So he's a pain in the butt in his real dungeon, but here he's not so bad. He's going to try and bind you. So you kind of get that free turn, assuming that you bring a bind clear. And then under 40%, he'll skip his turn, and then he'll blow you up. So you definitely don't want to have that happen. So I'm kind of looking at the board here. So I'm not really the best player. It takes me a little while to figure out these 4 matches when the board isn't looking, I guess, really easy. So I was checking on Indra's skill to see when it's up, and the answer is no time soon. But he does bring that 100% skill bind resist as well. I think actually that's the real reason I brought him here. In a 5-stage dungeon, that someone with a 20 skill cooldown is probably not going to get his skill up unless you're purposefully stalling, which is kind of tough in one of these dungeons. So you can see here, I kind of, did I get my match there? Yeah, I got my match. Okay. So a 25x, I don't think it does too much to him. Okay, I was completely wrong. Takes him all the way down. So at this point, I think he would still do a skill bind. Yeah, that's his 100% move. So he would still do a skill bind, which could be cleared. Then he'd skip a turn. So if you wanted to stall, you could actually stall a bit here if you find yourself in this situation. Here I'm kind of figuring out where my colors are. I've got my reds kind of separated out. The dark, the blue, they're all kind of close. I've got plenty of light close on the left and right sides of the board here. So trying to figure out the board. Probably going to take a red in the hand and try and make my matches going left to right there. There we go. So we've got all of our colors, and messed up there. Ended up getting the sky follows the dark, but messed up with the red. Oh well, like I said, oh there we go. He skipped his skill bind attempt, so or his bind attempt rather. So that's good. We have 2 more turns. So here we don't have the ability to make a board. Because we only have the 2 water orbs. So it's kind of a bummer. Decided to just clear off some of the extra things, hoping to generate the orbs we need. And there we go. We do exactly that. So at this point, all we really need is a 4-match 25x attack. It looks like, again, kind of the blue and the light are scattered out again. So the best way to do this would be take one of those in the hand. I see some easy shapes and matches with the red and the dark, both towards the bottom right of the board as well as the center and center right of the board. So taking a blue or light in hand would make a pretty nice way to put this board together. Definitely taking my time here, guys. There we go. See, I'm kind of thinking through, all right, if I go through with light in hand, I could do those reds at the bottom, I could do the dark at the bottom, I could pull the red over, and then go for a vertical match with the blue, and then finish off with a light over on the side. So, I mean, obviously at this point, I have to make this, or he will, oh, there we go, I do a little cascade. But, you know, missing that would mean the end of the run, which is kind of a bummer. Definitely don't want to die on something that simple when you actually have a solvable board up and you just kind of fudge it. So here we go. There's the request for peace, which is actually a 10-turn skill-bind resist. So that is why I brought Indra along, to make sure that we are not getting skill-bound. I think you get 20% off of each of the Kalis, so that puts you at 60, and then Indra brings along the other 40. So that way you get right past that. So examining this board here, once again, it's actually a pretty nice board. Not amazingly well, but obviously it's solvable. You have enough to make all the matches and then some, get up to 6x multiplier with a TPA. So trying to figure this out, it looks like you've got the reds, the blues, and actually the dark as well in pretty easy to solve positions. So right there I could have actually gone for, I could have got my 6x if I had matched that bottom red. But I ended up with a 5x, but with the TPA it still does some decent damage. Takes her to, I'm not sure if she got right below the light threshold or if she's just right at it, but either way, we do not have a solvable board at this point because she converted our dark orbs away. So a little bit of a bummer. We're going to have to use an active here. Let's see, at this point she would hit for about 14,000 and transfer red into blue. And then once you get her down a little bit more, she messes up your board further. Under 30%, she makes a bunch of jammers. So, and then she'll just kill you. So right here, we get a pretty nice looking board here. There we go. We could solve the dark on the left, then the red right next to it, then pull that up, head on over for the blue up at the top, and the light after that, hopefully making a 2-prong. Now I popped Yomi here. Why did I pop Yomi? I'm not sure. I think in case I messed up to be able to survive the next hit, because I didn't want to use Metatron at this point. So I'm just making sure I've got everything figured out here, guys. I take these color match boards a little bit slower, which is why I haven't really posted any videos with them. They're not really fast and furious, like the sort of matching you could do with Erd, where you're just getting that unconditional, and you can make a few TPAs with a 4 combo or 5 combo and clear off most boards. So just trying to figure out what's the optimal way to not only get the combo, but hopefully a 6 combo, and definitely go for that light TPA, because we have that possibility on the board right now. So there we go. We at least put together 5 of our own, and we get the 1 Skyfall. We got the TPA, the 36X, and that is that for light Izanami. Okay, so dark Izanami. Now this is kind of a pain here because, as you know, I'm not the fastest at matching these orbs, so now we've got to go quick, right? We've got to get these boards matched up pretty quickly, and we actually have a pretty nice looking board here, and I'm looking at it now after the fact, and I'm seeing taking a red in the hand and matching, going straight across, doing a pathing pattern, going through dark, going through light, going through green, and then setting up a red cascade. Um, that would be how I do it now. I'm not sure exactly what I do here, but obviously, with dungeons like this, you want to take your time. You get a nice prize at the end, and you want to make sure that you're making these boards properly. You're going to try and get all the damage you can. Um, so I go through, I get myself a nice 6 combo, even bounces over into a 7, so that's nice. Without a TPA, it's not a ton of damage, and she's there trying to wreck your board. Um, so obviously at this point, I'm not going to be looking to take any more damage. Pop a Kali, and we get ourselves a pretty nice board here. Again, it kind of lends itself to a quick solve here. Um, we could go through and kind of path uh, uh, at least our 4 matches, and we have a green combo sitting there. If we don't touch it, then that gets us that much closer to a 36x. We do have the orbs on a board to make a TPA. You see, I'm looking at grabbing that blue, and I could set up the red on the top left real quick. I could set up the dark right after that, and then I could go and kind of work my way through to make the 3 light down there, and I could pull down some dark and then set up the blue towards the top right after that. And I should have time to do all that. Oh, I don't go and set up the dark. Okay. So it ends up being a 25x. I could have made that a 36x, but, it happens. And there's the bind that we were waiting for, actually. I forgot about that. Under 50%, you are going to get that bind, and that's where Light Metatron really shines, because you pretty much get a free turn. Unfortunately, once again, we're left without a solvable board, which is kind of a bummer on a no recovery dungeon. So we pop Kali and just get a magnificent looking board. We have a very quick TPA blue-red match just by pathing through with that dark orb in hand. We could go down and out and make that light TPA, make that blue, make that red, and then loop it around to pull in the a vertical dark there, and probably even have time to match up that green at the bottom. That way we could try and get that 36x. I mean, this is pretty much it. There's no actives left, so we're pretty much looking to go for the kill shot right here. So we want to get a TPA, which is easy enough. We want to get that 36x, and we'd go ahead and make our 6 matches with the TPA. That's a nice way to do some damage, and there goes Dark Izanami. So obviously it wasn't the fastest run, but you see how you can use some pathing to set up some of the 6 combos, get that 36x multiplier. So there's challenge 6. Thank you, Sean, one of my best friends. He's got a Hypermax Kali I use quite a bit. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I'm going to try and keep pumping out content. I've got actually a bunch of videos in the backlog. It just takes me a quick minute to edit these and put it all together for you. But please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.